Hello, hello. Let's get into a cool bending exercise today. I'm excited to do this. This is kind of a spin-off from something that I've done before. I think I called this one the bending and groove practice, something like that. In fact, let me just remind you what that sounded like. So again, there was this video I released a while back that's basically designed to help you work on bending in the format of 12-bar blues, taking advantage of all the bends. So in this particular video, and that one sounded something like this. Went like this. I'm just going to play it faster so you can get the idea and hear what it was that I was doing. Little thing like that, and it again follows the 12-bar blues. And again, we're just going to stick to the C harmonic. I've got something totally different queued up that I want to share with you. Just another way to kind of outline 12-bar blues, really for the sake of practicing the bends, not necessarily something I would bring it in like exactly this way into improvisation, but you could. So let's look at it. Before I bring that, I've got some tabs up on the whiteboard I'm going to bring up here in Zoom. Two big events just to let everybody know. This Saturday is part 2 of my SuperHarps class, and on Sunday I'm working with Honer, and it's a Honer-sponsored Pentaharp open webinar. So you can ask questions, learn a little bit more about the Pentaharp. That is this harmonica right here, and that's this Sunday. It's free. I'll put all the information to both events in the video description after I finish up today. So we're gonna cover some of the ins and outs and take questions from the group. It'll last an hour. It's at 11 a.m. Central to 12 p.m. this coming Sunday with my good buddy Drew Lewis, who is the Honer production manager. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope you'll consider joining me in these classes. So let's look at our whiteboard here today. You got a C harmonica? This would be perfect if you got a C. Let's just actually put what key this is. We're using a C harmonica. That puts us in the key of G blues, let's say, second position. Now, let me play it for you nice and slow. You could try it with me. Let me just help you decode a little bit of this. A little apostrophe here is a half step bend. If there's 2 of those, quotation mark style, that's a full step bend. Okay, so if there's nothing there represented, like right over, if there's not anything, no draw that it's a blow. I don't think I have it. Do I have any blow notes? There's a blow note. You just see a simple number right there. All right. Let me see if I can play this for you. It goes like this on a C harmonica. I'm just going to go really slowly. Then I'm going to show you how to adapt this to beginners, people that are just learning how to bend, and how you can modify this. This is a little more advanced like this. So if you're like an intermediate and beyond, it's going to be a great fit. It goes like this. Get your air out. There's a lot of inhale. Kind of a mouthful of notes going on there, and I think I played this a little bit off. Just that is fine. That sounded a little closer to how it should come out. And then the turnaround. Let's talk about these little things. The little tilde I'm putting there just lets you know that I'm lifting that slowly out of a half step bend to a 2 draw and slowly back into the 2 full step bend. So If you started this and you're like, you're nuts, Ronnie, I can't do this. This is crazy. Well, look, just take away these first two notes and think about what you can do in the top line. Like you could go. And if you're really having an easy time, take away the breath. Like I don't typically take a breath. I will if I go real slow, but if I go faster, I wait till the end of the line to take the breath. But if you're just an intermediate player, maybe you want the breath. Now, let's say you took away these two notes and it was still pretty challenging for you. You could just take away this one. That would leave you with just 2 full step bend to 2 draw. 2 full step and 2 draw. Then 2 full step and 1 draw. And then maybe just 2 full step, 2 draw over here. So anyway, the point is you can modify these lines to fit them for you. On the 4 chord, you could leave off the first 2 notes again. And then on this line on the 5 chord, just modify it to your liking. I mean, there's a lot of ways you could modify that to make it simpler. And why would you do all this? Well, it's kind of cool for a couple of reasons. One, it's just a good exercise for getting your bending in line, but then you're kind of seeing some potential application of where these bends could fall in a 12-bar progression. So this is just something that popped in my head while watching TV the other night. I was sitting there and literally this line came into my head, and I was like, I was sitting on my phone in front of the TV and I just typed it out and I thought this would be a good little video to share with my channel and just have them. And again, what I'll do is I'll link the other video that I mentioned at the top of this session. I'll put it somewhere, in this clip. At the end of the clip, you'll see it pop up, as something you can click on, the little eye that pops up in the corner, I think. So look for that and work on your bending. And always my advice is to work on bending in a musical fashion, like just take your time and really make something with it instead of just bending arbitrarily, just kind of moving the note down. Think about, like this type of stuff. On the 2 draw, half, full, kind of like a Batman theme song. And again, that's all on the inhale on the 2 hole. And move over to your 3 hole and like practice Mary Had a Little Lamb, which will require the 4 draw, but that's it. Otherwise, it's all on the 3 hole draw, 3 full step, and 3 blow. That move is nice because you're focusing in on just the full step. If you're challenged with playing the full step. If you're challenged with the half step, maybe think about, these are just coming off the top of my head right now, but spoonful or something. That spoonful. So these are some of the things that pop into my mind. Is make it musical. Know where these notes are. I always say it, but the sooner you can get your head around sort of understanding where the repeating notes are, like 1 draw bend is the same as a 4 draw bend. Just knowing that and being able to jump and find the notes easily will make your world so much more enjoyable when it comes to trying to improvise and retain melodies and things like that. So again, this is inspired by the first video. I think it was called Bending and Groove Practice for 12-bar. This one's just a nice bending exercise, 12-bar blues. If you're going to go for the whole thing, I mean, that's pretty advanced, I suppose. Yeah, I'd say that's a nice advanced way. You could even get really fancy, and once you learn it, once you get a hang of it, improvise and bring in some other notes like 1 blow or... 4 chord. Make it your own, like right there, instead of going and going back to this, I changed this part. Whatever, play anything. Just start getting creative with the process, and it's fun, you know? Makes it a little more interesting. Somebody says they swapped the Pentaharp for the rocket comb. It's much louder and more comfortable for them and easier to bend now. Interesting. Interesting. Cool. And especially on the 5 chord, get really creative with that. You know, like on the first video, or whatever, it was a lot of chord tone, 5 chord, 2 half step, 3 full step. And on this one, it's coming from 4 bend. So if you don't like that, you know, move that to, who knows, 3 full step. But the key is to engage as many bends as you can. So what I'll do is maybe take this. Yeah, I'll take this whole thing and copy it for later and put it into the in the video description. Yeah, that's what I'll do. That's where I'll put it. So that's what's going on in my brain, is more bending, more exercises. I'm thinking about this class. If you're wondering what I was talking about at the top of this video, Saturday's class is covering this album, SuperHarps Part 2. It's got Rafe O'Neal, it's got Lazy Lester, Snooky Pryor, and Carrie Bell on it, and they're playing some killer tunes. So I've selected a whole bunch of riffs that we're going to break down. And not only do we break down the riffs, but play them together, and I provide the tablature, but we talk about application and techniques that go along with the riff. So once you learn a riff, like what is the lesson from that riff? Not only like how could you use it, but where else could we find a similar riff that contains that pattern? So if you learn something like, you don't forget to go, you know, move that little pattern around, things like that. Or you hear a riff and it's like, well, where did this riff come from? You know, what other players have played that kind of riff? There's some really cool riffs that Carrie Bell plays. And Carrie Bell plays some killer 5 chord. I've selected a handful of 5 chord riffs from the CD from more than one player, but Carrie Bell's got a really cool 5 chord riff going on one of these songs that it's amazing to me when I hear something and I'm like, I've never heard that. I've never heard a player. At this point, I usually recognize a riff saying, oh, I've heard this riff, I've played this riff, or that's almost the same as this riff. But he's got some stuff going on that's like totally different. Right on. So join me for Saturday's class. If you can make it, you could still buy the package deal, which gives you the part 1's recording that's already done and access to part 2 and all the notes and the recording to that when it's done. And that's $35 for both classes. I'll put that up in the video description. And Sunday is the big Pentaharp. Honer is sponsoring this Pentaharp webinar. I'll be there with Drew Lewis, and we'll be talking about, obviously, the Pentaharp, going through the basics, some tips, and maybe talking a little bit about, you know, the 10th position stuff, the relative major, and also playing 10th minor, which is a really nice, sweet. I've demoed that on YouTube. You've probably seen a couple if you follow me here. If you don't, subscribe so you can find out when I'm on here next. But the 10th position on a Pentaharp is very much, it's the same, it's the blues scale you'd play right off in 3rd position, the minor blues scale. And it's accessible with some bending. But it's really sweet, and so we're going to talk perhaps a little bit about that. And that relative major changes up. You can get the major pentatonic going, which is really nice for just like, check out Nick's video. I am almost positive Nick's got a video up demonstrating it. Nick Clark, NICCLARK. I believe it's on YouTube. And, you know, he plays rack harmonica with guitar, and he's playing some beautiful, just simple, like folky singer-songwriter style music, bringing in that relative major, and it just it sounds really nice. So even if you don't own a Pentaharp, you can join. I'm also going to stream it here. I almost forgot to mention. The event on Sunday will be streamed on YouTube. But the advantage of joining the link that I'll put in the video description is that if you have a question and you want to actually be in the webinar itself, then you'll want to join the Zoom link. If you don't care about asking a question, you just want to check it out, come to my channel here at 11 a.m. Central on Sunday, and you'll see the event streaming. Cool. Somebody said they're exploring 10th position. It's really cool. Yeah, it's all draw notes, and it's just super bluesy. I've put up a couple clips, but I've been experimenting with it at some gigs now, and it works so well. I have a song that's in E flat minor. I've got the C pentaharp going, and I'm playing that 10th position, and it just sounds way better than playing the D flat in 3rd position. You follow me? So if the song's in E flat, really this one's in E flat minor-ish, and so I'm always playing 3rd position on it on a D flat harmonica, but now I've got this option of grabbing the C pentaharp, and it just sounds really nice. It's like it opens up a deeper, these lower notes that are available. I don't have it in front of me right this second, but on the C pentaharp, yeah, I do. It opens up these lower notes. I don't have a D flat in front of me, but and it's gorgeous. So it's so nice to get away from that really high key, which I don't love playing 3rd position on high key harmonicas as much. I like the richness of like that B flat, A, or G harp. And that's kind of, even though this is a C, it puts me in a much lower register and tone than what I would get a fatter tone from like the D flat. There's some major advantages, and it's easy to learn. Don't let 10th position scare you. I knew nothing about 10th position until I think Heiko from this channel said, hey, how about you try 10th position? Heiko is somebody that was following the channel and put it in the comments of one of my videos, and I was like, let me see if I can figure that out. And it was just so lovely and intuitive. If you're bending notes, there's no reason why you shouldn't grab a Pentaharp and experiment with 10th position. It's like starting over. It makes the whole thing like completely exciting again. At least it did for me. And we'll share a whole bunch more with you on Sunday in the webinar. And what else can I tell you? This class is going to be a blast. Saturday, that thing's all recorded. Come check this stuff out. I think that's all I wanted to communicate today. That's what's on my brain. I hope to see some of you this weekend. Otherwise, make it a great weekend, and I'll be back here soon. I've got some videos queued up. I'll be doing a little traveling later this month, but I've got some videos queued up and ready to go, loaded, scheduled to be released on this channel later this month. Eric says, you play the A flat harp over E flat minor. Wouldn't that be, for 10th, wouldn't that be C minor? What position would that put you in, Eric? I can beat you to the punch here, maybe, and look it up. You said you're playing an A flat over E flat. There it is. You were playing an A flat harp over E flat minor, and that puts you in. Oh, what am I doing? That's just. You're playing the A flat harp, yeah. You threw me through a loop, man. Oh, I read it backwards in my brain. That's just like second position, minors. Yeah, well, okay. Here's the problem with that. I mean, you can do that. God, I thought about that a little too hard. I swapped it in my head. I was thinking A, the opposite, an E flat harp and A. Anyway, doesn't matter. You can do that. You can play that second position, Eric, but the thing about it is that when it gets super minor and it's all minor, that's just, you're going to be out of tune. It's not going to sound great. You want an option, is what I'm saying. You want an option to have an all minor scale, and there's only a handful of positions that give you that. So that's my advice, is not to always live in second position, because it doesn't always sound great. That's really funny that I sat there and thought about that so long. It's been a long day. Yeah, I would encourage you to get into some minor playing or pick up a Pentaharp, either one, because you're going to want that. You're gonna want to get away from that always using second position. I will caution you guys, because there's certain times in the song you'll straight up be out of tune. And that's what I'm trying to say. What else? Is anything else going on, you guys? I got just enough time. I got the construction crew moving in across the street. Every day is construction day here. That's lovely. I'm going on almost 2 years of just beeping and banging every day. Very much brings out the craziness in me. You use different, it doesn't, I don't think, I think you're saying that you're using different bending. You can bend every hole you want, and you can use second position over some minor stuff for sure. I'm not saying you can't. But irregardless of all of the bends that are available, it's fun to explore an all minor position, because you're not in a minor position at that point. That's the only point I'm making. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But good ones would be like third position, fourth position, and fifth position. And there's a couple other great minor positions that you can get into on top of that. But those are the popular ones that come up all the time. Yeah, that's it. That's all there is today to say. I'll show you the one more time in case you missed it, and then I'll put this in the thing. This is what we were looking at today, everybody. We were looking at this thing. C harp. I think I left the six blow out. That's how that turnaround goes. Like this. That's a crazy little run right there. Cool. Somebody's saying they use the normally the Lee Oscar natural minor, harmonic minor. That's cool too. And what's cool about using all this stuff? Let me just be real clear about all that. Is that like you have benefits from using those tunings as well, because then you have the chords that are tuned minor. We don't have that on a Richter tune when we play minor positions, and we don't have that on the Pentaharp either. We get these kind of chords. Less usable, not quite the kind of chords you'd bring in rhythmically, right? So there's advantages to all of this stuff. They each have a different sound quality, from playing a Richter tune to a natural minor, harmonic minor, to this new Pentaharp, which is a minor tuning. For those that are wondering, what is the Pentaharp? You should come to the thing on Sunday. But basically, it's just both the blues scale and a minor pentatonic available, just blowing and drawing. One blow, one draw. Two blow, two draw. Or just the minor pentatonic if you don't want to play the blues scale. Yeah, and it's wonderful for people that are like rack players, guitar players that are thinking, man, I really want to pick up a harmonica, but the harmonica's nuts. Like a standard Richter tune harmonica is crazy. These patterns. One of my favorite things about the Pentaharp is the pattern you learn in one register applies to all the registers. So if you learn something in the bottom, it's good for the middle, it's good for the top. It's just completely repeating exactly. Richter tuning is not at all like that. You don't get that benefit. You get a repeating blow area, and that's it. All this starts changing, and all the pitch changes from low to high, from the bottom part of the harmonica to the top, and it's confusing for a lot of people trying to learn the instrument to figure out, like, what do I do with this stuff? So in came the Pentaharp. Cool. I agree. Variety is key. Keep an open mind. Experiment. I like that, the way you're saying that, Colin. And I don't mean to diss anybody that, like for Eric that was talking about the second position over minor. Can you demonstrate it? A good example of it. And often it's when it's coming up, it's a mixed bag. Like you're getting major and minor chords coming across, and you're playing second position over it. Help Me is a good example. Green Onions, the groove. Da, 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 da. And that is very minor parts of it. And so you can play that second position, no problem. A lot of songs, if you just get, I don't have anything queued up right now, but if you had, like this says G minor, but it's really probably mixed, I'm guessing. This will work great with crossharp. It's a shuffle in G minor. Actually, this is mistitled. That's in the key of C. I just blew on that. That's first position, and it says G minor, so it's really... That's not it. This might be it right here. This sounds like it. That's G minor. All day long, for sure. This kind of approach is totally acceptable, but not every minor song sounds good in cross. In fact, most of the time it just sounds way off. And I know that there's a lot of players that do use second position all the time for minor keys. Standard. I'm talking a standard C, Richter tuned diatonic, and they're just using that for G minor, or they've got an A harp for E minor. And you can get away with it if you're careful. You can do some cool stuff with that for sure. Franchise your ears. I wish I could do that for you. Cool. I've never heard anybody say anything like that before. So yeah, get out there and have some fun. Join some of these events online. This weekend's going to be a blast. I got the class prepared for Saturday, and I can't wait to teach that SuperHarps 2 class. And then obviously the free open event on Sunday I keep bringing up with Drew Lewis, the Honer webinar, talking about the Pentaharp, sharing some things with everybody. And eventually down the road, maybe I'll come up with a cool class idea for the Pentaharp. But for now, I feel like these webinars will suffice. And there will be more than one. So the first one is this Sunday, the 14th at 11 a.m. Central. We're planning on doing them monthly for a while. So if you miss one and you're dying to attend live, snag that link. It'll be the same Zoom link that I put in this video description when I finish this little chat. And I'll also put ticket information for Saturday's class. And there you go. Let's play some blues and get out of here. Alrighty, y'all make it a great day. Thanks for hanging out with me. And